So the sharp-eyed among you may notice that this is an 8-ball rack. The even sharper-eyed among you may notice that this is not my Southwest. This is my McDermott D12. There are reasons for these two things. One is there is an 8-ball tournament tomorrow that I may play in. I haven't played any kind of serious 8-ball crap since like 1998 when I stopped playing league. The pool hall I go to has an 8-ball tournament every fall, starting in I think 2019 or 2018. I played in the 2019 one, didn't do as well as I'd hoped. I did not play in the 2021. There was like a global pandemic. You may have heard about it. It was in all the papers. So I didn't go last year. This year I may go, and if I go, it's tomorrow. So that's the reason for 8-ball. I'm trying to practice some 8-ball too. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to accomplish anymore. Make a ball is kind of what I'm trying to accomplish here anymore. But so that's why the 8-ball rack. The reason for the D12 is essentially because I suck, and I've tried my Southwest, I've tried my Scruggs, I've tried my Carmelli, back to my PHR. I'm just not playing very well at all. And so I'm picking this guy up. I became a good player with McDermott D12 playing 8-ball, league pool. And, you know, I've played better since then, but that's, you know, I went, you know, APA, well, my first week I think I was a 4, then a 5, and then a 6, and then I was a 6 for like a year, and then a 7 ever since. So since like 1988, but all that was with the McDermott D12. And so essentially I've gone from, well, let's try to practice 8-ball to I'm just feeling a little bit nostalgic about it. So here I've got an 8-ball rack, I've got the D12, and it's going to shoot. And I just want to talk a little bit about, well, myself and the issues that I'm having right now. Maybe some other people will have or have had similar issues. Back when I was playing 8-ball a lot, I was really good at seeing patterns. And I'm not talking about a whole pattern of like all the balls on the table, but the little 3 or 4 ball runs that I would use to patch together a run out. I ran out a lot. Also broke a hell of a lot better. This is pretty crappy. Anyway, now I'm not seeing the patterns, or if I am, I'm not making the shots. So, yeah, everything pretty much sucks, and that's just the way it is. And, you know, if I had a cure, I would absolutely be posting about that. But these last several days, I have not been concentrating very well at all. And even a lot of little tricks that I do haven't been helping particularly much. So all I'm doing is, I guess, just moving my arm to, yeah, there we go. Try to get some exercise in. I'm accomplishing nothing beyond that. I'm accomplishing nothing at all. And, you know, the way it sits right now, there's no freaking way in hell I'm going to go play in this 8-ball tournament tomorrow. But the only good thing I have going for me is I know how streaky I am, and I know I can shoot like shit, and then the next time around, shoot really well. This has been happening forever for me. I'm just not convinced that, I'm not convinced it's going to happen this time. When I was playing 8-ball well and all the time, stuff like this would never happen. It seemed like I would, there's a ball. It seemed like I would take a chance and everything would work out great. And nowadays, I think a lot of that was probably just some subconscious stuff that I knew was going to happen on a subconscious level, and it happened. I might not have been aware of it consciously. Hang on, I have to move my Southwest because my kitten is going to knock it over. And that would make me mad. But nowadays I don't have that. The subconscious doesn't know what the hell he's doing any more than the conscious does. So I'm just like, okay, I have one shot, and that's the 5. Okay, so we'll shoot the 5 and see what happens. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to shoot my way out of trouble instead of having a rack, getting somewhat of a plan together, and executing that plan. I'm hoping I get a shot, and if I do, well, I hope I make that shot. This is not a particularly fun or correct way to play pool, but sometimes you just got to work with what you have. Did I miss that one before? Was it the 1 ball before? There's something wrong with that 1 ball. I need to make a mental note about that, because that could come in handy in the future. That the 1 ball is egg-shaped or something, apparently. Ugh. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. In the olden days, I'm out right now. I mean, crap. In the olden days, if I made a ball in a break, odds were pretty good that I was out. These are not the olden days. This is 2021, and I never play 8 ball. And when I do, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I pretty much stink up the place. And that's it. So, what was I going to say? I don't know if there was anything in particular I was going to say. I don't want everyone to be one of those guys that says, even if I was shooting well, I don't ever want to be one of those guys that says, well, this is how you play 8 ball. You know, this is how you pick solids versus strikes or whatever. Hey, there are millions of instructors out there, a hell of a lot more knowledgeable than me, that can tell you that kind of thing. And B, a lot of them I think they're wrong anyway. I think maybe they're just flapping their gums to hear their gums flap. Make them sound maybe a little bit more knowledgeable and important than maybe they really are. It's just my opinion, but I am entitled to an opinion, just like everybody else is. So we're going to do this again. See if I can do better than whatever that was, 800 innings or something like that. So that becomes my new goal. I made a video a while ago about comparing yourself, how I like to compare myself to myself from the recent past. So, right, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to see if I can beat 800 innings for a game of 8 ball. Comparing myself to myself from 5 minutes ago. I don't know what rules they're playing this tournament down there by. I think that they're playing it's open table no matter what after the break. If you make a ball, it's open table. That's the way I always played. Like, I used to be a league operator. That's the way that we played back then. But that was a long time ago. If we play by those goofy rules or those rules, then I got stripes. And yeah, I'm kind of screwed. I got a trick shot on the 15, carry him off the 7, go in that pocket. That won't go anyway. I've got an 8,000 ball combination, 11, 14, 9, that I couldn't make anyway. I don't have to like any of it. And I don't like playing safe. Especially just playing, against myself, just practicing. I don't like doing it. But sometimes you have to. That wasn't a particularly good safety, but it wasn't the worst. Best. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to beat my 800 inning thing or not. Plus, it's just, things just don't work out sometimes. And anybody that's been playing for any length of time realizes that. There's going to be times where you suck. And I guess the trick is to, mow through and, realize that you're not going to suck forever. It's going to get better. And not as quickly as you want, but it most likely will get better eventually. Still don't like it, but I bet I'm going to have to shoot it. I've been looking at this 4-ball for 10 minutes and I still don't know if it'll go. We'll go cross side. I guess we'll do that. I still don't know if it would have gone in that side past the 10 though. Hey, maybe I'll break my 800 inning thing. What was this, about 700 innings maybe? There was a time when, at least according to my league stats, where I averaged 2 racks every time I stepped up to the table. That's one of the other things that makes me sad about 8-ball is that it's impossible for me to play 8-ball and not remember, that I used to be a hell of a lot better. And I used to always say, well, I'm never going to be one of those guys that talks about how good they used to be. My plan was I was always going to keep improving forever, Hasn't worked out that way. You hit ceilings. I had women involved. I quit pool for several years because of a girl. Didn't work out, so now I'm playing again. Well, I never want to be one of those guys that was like, well, I tell you what, 20 years ago I was a good player. Pay no attention to the fact that I suck now. I'm one of those guys. And no, I don't like it. I'd like to be one of those guys that would go, you know what, 20 years ago I sucked. Or 20 years ago, I'm sorry. 20 years ago I was really good and then I started sucking, but I got good again. That would be awesome to be able to say that, to tell that story. A girl came in my life and I quit playing and then I started really sucking. But eventually, through hard work, perseverance, blah, 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 I became a good shooter again. That would be awesome. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. Well, I don't know a lot of things. What I know for sure, absolutely 100%, is that if I go to this 8-ball tournament tomorrow, playing like been playing the last couple of days, I'm going to go 2-0. It's horrible. It's horrible considering the crowds that I've seen at this thing. I've been there 2 years now. 1 year just to watch, 1 year to play, and I kind of feel like I should be able to get maybe in the top quarter. Even though I don't play 8-ball anymore, just based on the fact that I am a decent player and I know a lot of the league ratings and a lot of people that do show up. Okay, top quarter. I'm not going to win the thing, but top quarter should be fine. The last time I played, I didn't make the top quarter. I think I won one, lost one, won one, lost one. That's what I did. So I ended up in like the top third. Okay, that's fine. It's better than going 2 and out. If I show up tomorrow the way I've been playing the last couple days, I'm going 2 and out. I don't care if I draw Helen Keller and then my sister, I'm going 2 and out. And I just have to be able to just deal with that and realize that my existence as a human being, my purpose in life and all that, is not to do well in this one tournament. You know, take it as a learning experience. Obviously, if I go 2 and out, there are going to be mistakes that I will have made. And if I take advantage of those mistakes by learning from them and therefore, in theory, not repeating them again and again and again and again, then it ends up being worth the price of entry for the thing. I think it's a $50 entry. If I come out of that where I've paid $50, but I've learned $50 worth of lessons on shit I shouldn't do or shit I should do, then it could be totally be worth it. Totally be worth it. I just kind of have to try to go into it with that attitude instead of, oh yeah, I want to shoot well. I want to go in there and don't make any mistakes and win the whole freaking thing. That would be cool too. Not expecting that, but I'm going to try. I always do try. One of the things about me is I've never been a really big gambler for like the last 20 years. And I used to play for a lot of money, not a lot, but for me a lot. And I kind of got pushed out of that lifestyle a little bit. I lost some friends and stuff over it. Just didn't like it. And people would say to me, well, I can't concentrate if I'm not playing for 20 a game or 50 a game or 100 a game or whatever. And I always kind of felt a little bit sorry for those people. Because let's say that I said, hey, you know what? I can't concentrate unless I play for $100 a game. Then in 5 years, maybe $100 is nothing to me. And then it's like, you know what? I can't concentrate if I'm not playing for $500 a game or $1,000 a game or whatever. It just seems like that's something that's just always going to get worse. You're never going to be satisfied with some magic number, 100 a game or whatever. That's your magic number. Okay, now you can concentrate, and it's never going to get any worse than that. Your requirements are never going to be any worse than that. Well, I kind of felt sorry for those people because I think they're in a little bit of a dead end when they're using that as an excuse. Some people like to play for money just because they like to play for money because it's fun for them. Great. I went down to New Orleans here a couple of months ago, and I hadn't played for money in a long time. But I went down there on purpose to play Tony Chohan for money and ended up playing Richie Richardson for money. And it was fun. It was all fun. Except for one part. But anyway, I like to think that my concentration is not going to be any better just because there's money on the line. My concentration, in fact, may be worse if there's money on the line. I remember being down there in New Orleans, and I think I've talked about this in a video before, where Tony and I were watching these two guys play one pocket. It was for like $10,000. They were playing like some kind of a race for like $10,000. And Tony says to me, he says, Dad, you could beat out one of these guys. And yeah, you know, that's cool that you think that, Tony. But, there's a cat. Can you see the cat? But if I was playing for $10,000, I'd probably have a heart attack and fall over dead. Sure, I could beat one of those guys, like if they come down to my basement and we're just playing for fun, but you start putting that money on there, that's pressure. A lot of people look at that and say, well, that helps me concentrate. For me, I think pressure kind of stops me from concentrating. It makes me think about the money all the damn time. This cat, my leg is not a scratching post. Neither is this D12. Neither are any of my cues. I feel like I've rambled a lot. This was not supposed to be about gambling because I have opinions about it that probably are different. than the opinions of a lot of people. I always like to say that if I'm going to play my grandmother in straight pool, you know, to 100 points, I'm going to do my absolute damnedest to beat her 100-0, whether it's money or no money or whatever. I like to think that the money does not make a difference to me. In fact, though, the money does not help me. The money can hurt me. As it turned out, when I was down in New Orleans, I had plenty of money and I wasn't particularly worried about it. I wasn't playing for high enough stakes, you know. But me and Tony, we were playing. He was giving me a spot in bank pool. 6-4. Yeah, I think we were doing 6-4 in banks, and we ended up dead even after 10 games or so. Absolutely dead even. If Tony had turned around and said, "Okay, let's play the next set for $85,000," well, A, I wouldn't have done it. I didn't have that much damn money, and B, I would have crumbled into dust by trying, if I had to try to play for any of that kind of stakes. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm watching this cat. She thinks my leg is a scratching post, and it's really not. It's a leg. I'm going to stop this video right now because I'm going to stop it. It's my camera. Later, guys.